my darlings. Well, finally get to progress a little bit more story and get off the moon. Let's see. My chocobo needs more food. Nom nom nom. There you go, my little darling. Right. I'd forgotten how cold it was here in Garlemald. A testament to the Lord Priest's ingenuity, I felt no such discomfort on the moon. Gods, I can scarcely believe we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now, we need to head back to Camp Brokenglass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd very much like to know how everyone's getting on here as well. They'd only just begun to treat the temper prisoners when we left. I share your curiosity, but warning our allies of the final days is of far greater importance. I speak not only of the contingents, of course. The heads of state of every nation must know what we've learned. We know not when or where, or in what manner the final days will begin to manifest, and so we must see that everyone's prepared. Agreed. Though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be sent into a panic. Not that anyone in a position of responsibility should need to be told as much, but it bears repeating. Anyway, first things first, to Camp Brokenglass. Yeah, that's where I was up there. I'm just gonna go boop and head over there, the lazy way. Elita, at last you have returned. Oh, I wonder if there's other people gonna like that have stuff to say. Any of the like more significant people. Yeah, I didn't think these people would see anything of note. Yeah, nothing interesting. let's just progress. It's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope. We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what's become of Garlemund in our absence? We succeeded in subduing the Tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. The incident conditions have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, and so we have petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are understandably hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were recently subjected to imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of your fellow Scions, we endeavour to see them safely transported and subsequently cured for the tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? Not all, no. We have sufficient shelter to attend those whose treatment has begun, and enough healers have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Julius is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alphanol and the Lazy's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. In light of recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to any decisions regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep a close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. For Mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent that you experienced in Thavnir. Those who were trapped within them have all been rescued and are receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavour, the beast tribes have received instruction on the magics needed to cure tempering. Master Mataya is no doubt thrilled the Mother Porksy affords her many visitors. Yes, and we are grateful for her ongoing efforts, as well as those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after the transfer of temperers has been completed. Lucia and I will remain, along with a small force to continue offering aid to those in Garlemund. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. I believe that accounts for recent events here. So, what of the moon and the Teleferi? There were bunny people up there, and they did this and that, and whee! The final days. Gods, I prayed your victory would mark the end of our troubles. There's still much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course. I will send word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow Scions from their present duties, that they may return to Charlayan. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow Scions, you'll be happy to hear that Mistress Kryl, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Valdesian Annex and given in Teteru's care. Thank you. I look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let us be on our way then. One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiark, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood he has returned to Garlemald. I have a mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask if you believe there is any merit in doing so. If they found him, they would not likely live to tell the tale. I suppose you're right. To dispatch good soldiers in pursuit of such a beast would be to send them to their deaths. Pray forget I entertained the notion. While on the subject of Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounce the Crown Prince and condemn his role in the Emperor's downfall. His very title has become a source of shame among his former subjects, and its continued use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared as Xenos Vieter Gaivus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. Daniel is no more, and now his own people turn against him. It seems he's not but his bloodlust to keep him company. Better than an army to see it sated. At any rate, I will not keep you longer. I pray you safe passage back to Charlayan. Your findings will be relayed to the Alliance leaders word for word. And should we spy anything out of the ordinary here in Garlemald, all should be informed at once. Once my countrymen have recovered, it falls to me to tell them what's become of Xenos in the Empire. I realize there is no kindness in withholding the truth, but it will wound them. There's a side quest down here. Narthota is looking decidedly smug. Good to see you, Elita. I've heard a great deal about your recent exploits, as has everyone else. That's why I feel confident recommending you for associate level hunts. The challenges you face from here on out will be significantly tougher to contend with, but I wager you can handle them. You've yet to give me reason to believe otherwise. Associate specimens are not only more threatening, but also more difficult to track down. You'll have to seek them out in the world's most inaccessible and inhospitable reaches, like bloody Garlemald. Gods, I hate that place. Now, if Ilsebard's unfriendly nods was our only problem, I'd simply remind you to strap on your furs and take some ale for the road. But, well, perhaps it's best if you just ask Juskai what she's working on. There's nothing quite like hearing it straight from the chocobo's mouth. No, I do think I'll leave this bit to Jaskal. Don't worry, she won't bite. Yes, I heard it from here. If Northwood insists, I will tell you precisely what I'm dealing with at the moment. Let's look at this request from Chrysiel, shall we? She's a Charlayan soul, xenobiologist, a self-proclaimed one, mind you. and it's her raising the edge to prove that life exists on stars other than our own. The astronomers have quite long since banned her from the meetings and refused any request she makes on principle. But alas, we have no such luxury. She's been demanding samples from the moon for quite some time now, despite the obvious impossibility of acquiring them. Associate hunts often present such challenges, ones with no ready solution. Although we gleaners pride ourselves on resourcefulness, we can do all in such cases and post them on the board and hope for a miracle. Try telling that to the clients, though. In any case, I would be thankful if you take a look at the board and try your hand at any bills that suit you. The guildship has high hopes for your success. No pressure, of course. Yay! Oh, it's so good to see you! And feed from children's, I take it? You'll be pleased to know everything's been kept in order since you've been away. I've even brought a few useful knickknacks with me from back home. But no sooner had they arrived than I received word of trial and poor health. And you on the moon. If you meant to give me a fright, you succeeded. Welcome back, Elita. We were so terribly worried about you. Though it is a pain I have caused my own fair share of worry, and for that I apologize. Heidelin called me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint but desperate, and I knew at once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels like a dream I barely remembered. My body flowing through the life stream towards Garlemald. When I regained consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted of ether. So exhausted, in fact, I could only laugh, for it was in that moment I understood Raha's weariness from the Tower of Zod. Would that I could laugh at a time like this. Though we prevented Zodiac from being unleashed upon the world, I am curious to know what else took place here on the moon. Perhaps we should wait for the others to join us before you give your account. Let us reconvene in the main hall once they've arrived. For a blessing, I've recovered enough to get out of bed. Even if I hadn't, I could not well miss you recount your exploits from the moon. Comrades, come forth. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. Not at all. We understand that you've been quite busy. Will Urianja be joining us? Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid, so Elita can explain better than I. I can? You see, moon, Xenos, end of days. Yep. All that stuff. The final days, as befell Amarot. And we are to escape via the moon? What of the source and its reflections? I've no intention of standing by while the world falls into ruin. So, how do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case in the time of Amarot, the solution would be to alter the flow of ether throughout the eternity of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiac, sacrificing half the star's population in doing. But it should go without saying that such a sacrifice cannot be repeated. Which leaves us with the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Amarantians could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mare Lamatorium. There is still much we do not know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Amarantians' creation magics. But we command no such power, which invites the question, what havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw on a parallel with the events of the past, and thereby form some semblance of a plan. Perhaps we should start with the Forum, then. Having worked with the Loporrites in secret all this time, there is surely more they can tell us. Forgive the interruption, but I have urgent news. The Forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside. Some sort of announcement. What is Father up to now? There's only one way to find out.
Order! Order, I say! I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Sharlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, so we have called for a public assembly. You may have heard rumors of the Talopheroi and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The Endbearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. But first...
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
Master Le Veilleur, if you would.
Very well. "270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself. She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared. The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom. Much like Nunkref's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus. For his impressive contributions and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Le Veilleur to oversee this initiative.
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be. It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
Oh, that's a cat out of the bag.
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work. If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit. Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave.
Take your time.
Thank you. I shan't be long.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Nay, we do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Sharlayan, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures, and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? What would you have them do? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence. This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done. That we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Bold words call for bold action, and there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
As if I ever would. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested. Wouldn't you agree? And having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
I'm fine.
Shall we then? To the Annex, to prepare for tomorrow.
the rostra. This building houses the Assembly Hall, where the Forum debates Charlian national policy. Once a simple outdoor plaza, the rostra would ring with heated discussion through rain, wind and worse. Following a death by lightning strike, however, plans were drawn up for the imposing stone structure which now crowns Arkan's design. Krell tells me the Forum made a rather momentous announcement. So there's to be a great exodus, is there? I'm reminded of my narrow escape from the Isle of Val. The realization, the running, the mixture of relief and regret after. Why me, I ask myself. Why me? Why us? Why now? Why wander? There's no use fretting over cosmic morality, or lack thereof. We're here, and we'll get through this together. And who knows, maybe my luck will run off and grant everyone a narrow escape. There's no harm in praying for as much. Oh, but enough of my rambling. I'm sure you're exhausted. Your chamber awaits. The moon. Pretty. Come in. Grahatia?
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to... If you could spare a moment before bed. Thank you. I fear this may be the last quiet night we have to talk for quite some time. I am troubled of late. Unwarranted concerns, perhaps. I hope. Nevertheless, I feel compelled to share them with you. Though you have bested your enemies thus far, Xenos and even Zodiac, your victories have come at a considerable cost to yourself. No one is without their limits, and you are no exception. I worry the added weight of the final days will prove more than you can bear.
Sweet Graha.
It is surely too much for any one woman. But you needn't bear it alone. Let me share your burden. My, carrying capacity pales in comparison to yours, but I could still help. Shoulder the occasional satchel from your ever-growing mountain of, baggage. You have already done so much to help relieve me of mine own encumbrances. 'Tis only fair that I repay you in kind. Of course, it needn't be only troubles we share.
Alright.
Moments of joy may seem few and far between now, but there will come a time when we look back fondly on this journey. The inquiry at the Forum, our march through the snows of Garlemald, our impromptu dinner in this very room. All of it. And that is to say nothing of the journeys yet to come. To the ends of the world and beyond. But tomorrow will be no less busy than today, and I've kept you from your rest long enough. Sleep well, my friend.
Good night.
Thank the gods that tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
Thank the Ilsebar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
Aye, I heard the same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum, too. But is it true they tempered Garlean soldiers?
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I see. Well, that's a relief then. I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. They're to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
Another day, another commission of paramount importance. Oh, what have we here? Hey, are you all right? Was that? No. The shadows play tricks, nothing more. The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat has abated. Yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse?
Right, so this cutscene 2 that I want. I can see what the other ones would have said. Now is it?
Craving a midnight snack, were you? I did consider bringing a few sweets, but decided this wasn't an appropriate occasion. I couldn't sleep. Had a few things on my mind. I know it's late, so I'll try not to talk your ear off. It's Xenos. I keep thinking back to Garlemald when he'd taken control of your body. An altogether terrifying experience, to say the least, and one that served as a harsh reminder. No one, no matter how strong or quick or clever, is invincible. Not even you. And as much as it might seem at times that you are, one misstep, one mistake, and that's that. Which is why, even though I know you've heard it 1,000 times before, I'm going to tell you to take better care of yourself. Because you really, really should. It goes without saying that we're all committed to this fight. But that doesn't mean that we need to throw our lives away. You know how I feel about noble sacrifices. Right, that's settled. We'll be keeping the acts of gratuitous bravado to a minimum.
Don't worry, I won't be sacrificing myself.
When I looked Father in the eye and swore we'd find a way to avert this tragedy, it wasn't a promise just for him. It was a promise for you, too.
It's nice that I get to see what everyone has to say. Half an hour?
Ah, I hope I didn't wake you.
Not at all.
I pray you will forgive the unannounced visit, but I wish to speak with you before retiring for the night. About Garlemald, and the time we spent with the people of Tertium. Dangerous though it was, I'm glad we had the opportunity to treat with Eulus and Quintus. I was worried what might happen after we were collared. If they attempted to restrain you too. If they succeeded. Once more, I put you in harm's way. And for that, I must apologize.
Half an hour.
Or rather, I should thank you for trusting in me time and time again. After all our journeys together, I dare say I've used every expression imaginable to convey to you my gratitude. Nevertheless, I hope these words of mine still carry some small weight. Tomorrow, our fight continues. Mayhap it would have been better to seek you out after we have true cause for celebration. But having mustered the courage to stand up to Father and achieve a personal victory of sorts, I wanted to carry on in that spirit before my nerves got the better of me. The hour grows late, and you doubtless tire of my ramblings. I have a letter for Orenvold to finish, but we'll be off to bed shortly. Sleep well.
You too. I've got 3 more to watch. Shame it doesn't go straight to the choice. You still up?
You're still awake. Good. Might I trouble you to stand still for a moment? Nothing appears out of the ordinary. A precautionary measure. You will recall that serving as a vessel for abundant light in the First very nearly ended poorly. In your recent battle on the Moon, you were almost certainly exposed to similar, if not greater, forces. Fortunately, from what I can see, you and your ether are none the worse for wear. Would that Reen were here to confirm my assessment. To think you actually found yourself in a direct confrontation with Zodiark. As if Xenos gallivanting about in your body was not misfortune enough. Did you so grossly offend every single deity in a past life that they saw fit to place a curse upon your soul?
Something like that. Maybe.
Forgive me. That was in poor taste. I recall vividly how battered and broken it was in the depths of Amarot. Would that you could have seen it with your own eyes. Mayhap then you would understand why the greater part of me is glad you did not. It was a horror beyond description.
It's okay.
Promise me you will be careful. That you will seek my counsel if you feel unwell.
Sure. I'll be fine. Don't look at me as if I'm about to die. I'll be fine.
That puts my heart at ease, if only a touch. I suspect it will grow colder as the night wears on, so do be sure to stay warm. Sleep well. May the shadows keep you.
You too. Estinian? Hey, looking casual, Estinian.
You're alone. Good.
The
twins thought now would be a wonderful time to pay a visit to my chambers. Rather than listen to them bicker over tonight's snacks and tomorrow's plans, I seized the first opportunity to make my escape. To their credit, they decided against intruding on your peace and quiet. Can all be a bit exhausting at times, can't it? I wasn't sure what to make of you at first. During the Dragon Song War, how quick you were to take up a cause not your own. But I came to see that is simply the way of you and yours. I will not pretend to understand this talk of ancient primals and the final days, but I trust in your judgment and choose to believe in your cause. You and Alphino have my lance, now and always. You'll need it. Rack and ruin looming on the horizon. Calamity bearing down upon us. There's no place I'd rather be than here. Standing shoulder to shoulder with friends on the front line. So do not hesitate to send me against your enemies. I'll make them rue the day they met me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I could do with a little air. If Alphino asks, I was never here. Until the morrow.
Huh. This one interestingly does not end with the door closing like the others. Tancred?
Evening. I hoped you hadn't crawled beneath the covers just yet. If you'll indulge me for a moment, I have a favor to ask. Don't worry. Nothing desperate or dire, if that's what you were wondering. Not yet. You know, we may have quite literally entered our final days. The ancients went so far as to call it that for a reason. If so, then everything we did for Reen, for the first, will have been meaningless. And I can't accept that. I just can't. My mind won't allow for the possibility. And that could be a problem. When we're in the thick of it, I don't know if I've got it in me to be pragmatic this time. To run, even if running's the right choice. The only choice. So if you see me turning a blind eye to the harsh reality, beat some sense into me, would you? I trust you and the other Scions with my life. And I'd like to think the feeling is at least occasionally mutual. And I never forgive myself if my stubbornness put them in danger. Gods, listen to me. Beginning to sound like the father I never had. So, can I count on you to keep me in line? I can think of no one else more eminently qualified. Excellent. Now I can breathe a bit easier. Which isn't to say that I will, given what we're up against. Let's keep this little chat our secret. I'd rather not have anyone scolding us for burning the midnight oil.
Sure. Okay. Alright, now back to story. Thatcher was throwing her prayer in consternation. Oh, Elita, I was just about to call for you. I'm afraid we've received another call for assistance. This one comes from Radzat-Zan. The others must have assembled in the main hall to discuss the situation. You must join them at once. I heard all about the final days from Cryo, but I had no idea we'd feel the impact of it this soon. Ah, there you are. Our worst fears are us. But moments ago, we received grim tidings from our contact in Radzat-Han. Vile beasts have appeared, as if out of nowhere, claiming one victim after the next. What's more, they say the very sky burns above them. Good gods! Are the final days already upon us? It would appear so. Sadly, that's all information we have at present. No doubt the people at Radzat-Zan are busy fighting for their lives. Then we must go at once. They need our help. Agreed, Kral. You'd best remain here with Tatu and gather what knowledge you can. You're in no condition for a long journey, I imagine. Very well. Similar phenomena may have been observed elsewhere, and if so, we must know about it at once. Be safe out there, yes? Let us make first for Yedimat. We must prepare ourselves for what may lie ahead. If this calamity has indeed come to Thavnir, it's all too likely that Corvus across the strait finds himself in a similar predicament. Even now it remains an Imperial providence, and as such it may be some time until we can ascertain the situation there. We can only hope that Cryo and Tatu will be able to provide us with some insight sooner rather than later. If the might of Vitra is not enough to hold these fiends at bay, Radzat-Han is in dire straits indeed. We must go at once. In ancient times, the phenomenon was first observed in places where the celestial current has grown weakest. It would seem there is a stagnancy of ether in the skies above Radzat-Zan, unbeknownst to Vitra. I would rather accompany you to Thavnir, but Raha's concerns are well founded. The last thing I would want is to be a burden. And so I will remain here with Tatu, and do all I can to gather knowledge that might serve us in the battle to come. Godspeed in your journey, Elita. We do not know where the creation magics that the ancients did, yet still these abominations appear. Whatever could be the cause? With the fall of the tower in Thavnir, the Hanish were beginning to enjoy a semblance of peace, and now this is... No similar creatures have been sighted here in Charlene. That said, the early signs may manifest in other regions ere long. We must be prepared for every eventuality. I'm glad for Krell's support. I'll call upon Hoary Boulder and the others to assist us. They will be our eyes and ears for the field, as they have been many times before.
And lo, vile beasts did rise. Leaving naught in their wake but blood and ash. Sun scorches earth and boils seas. And our sins ascend unto the heavens. Three dooms to unmake all we were.
This is like Berserk.
The sky burns. The final days are truly upon us.
My friends, I trust you have heard the news.
We have. What can you tell us of the situation, Your Excellency?
Last night, the isle was rocked by tremors, and the earth itself cried out. Aloft, the heavens began to burn. From all about, unholy beasts, the likes of which we had never seen, came forth in fury and rage. No. To say they came forth would be inexact. The people of Radzat-Han themselves transformed into these baleful fiends. Though the phenomenon was observed throughout our lands, the first creature, the largest and most dreadful of the lot, wrought havoc upon us here in our fair city. Though they bear superficial resemblance to divinities of legend, they are ungodly abominations. The people decry them as blasphemies. The large one's rampage has since taken it to the northern reaches of the island. I mean to dispatch our radiant host in an attempt to quell the threat.
And what of Vritra?
Vritra too makes for the north of his own accord, and yet he knows the blasphemy and its minions were but yesterday his beloved people. I pray his boundless compassion and mercy does not deter him from unenviable but necessary action.
Understood. I ask that you allow us to aid you in quelling this threat.
You would risk your lives to help us yet again? I have no words to express my gratitude. Our regiments approach the north from several directions, with a number of units set to depart from the docks of Yedlimat. They will make landfall in an area of dense jungle, where one can expect to encounter dangers even beyond the fell beasts we hunt. I leave you to your preparation. You will find me at the docks when you are ready to depart.
We're as prepared as we'll ever be. Let's go.
Oh wow, it took me all the way over there. Ha! I only need to teleport to there and it took me here. Nice! Usually, the most dangerous foe in a worm's domain is the worm themselves. If I were Vitra, I would be as offended as I am horrified. I shall survey the environment closely as we go about our search. There may be some clue as to how we can combat this phenomenon. Innocent souls twisted and reformed into unholy abominations. I thought I had seen the last of such nightmares with the Sin Eaters. We must act quickly, Elita. Every moment we tarry means another soul may be lost to this nightmare. If it's true that the people themselves are transformed into beasts, why even the Radiant Host could suffer the same fate. Or us. Perish the thought. Don't worry. No matter how grim things might get, I won't lose heart. I'm ready whenever you need me. So the beasts are not born with creation magic run amok, but are rather the altered forms of the people themselves. In that sense, this manifestation of the final days differs from that which we witnessed in Amarant. And for the worse, I dare say. If any man, woman or child could become a beast at any moment, there's no telling when the next threat might come. We must exercise extreme caution. They say we should all evacuate to the ward, but would it even protect us from this? The Satrap's shield does not extend to Yadamad, let alone Alnir. I shudder to think that they are left to their own meager devices. Everyone has assembled, yes? I thank you for lending us your aid in the battle against the blasphemy. Let us review our plan of attack. I would have you board this boat and circle around to the north side of the island. There you will find a dense jungle we call Vanaspati. It is a sacred wood, home to many temples and a number of villages. Vitra and the Radiant Host have gone there ahead of us. I ask that you join them and do all in your power to destroy this blasphemy. All the sheds on our duty. I pray that we are not too late to spare the settlements from Vanasapati, the fate that has befallen our city. Once we meet with Vitra and the Radiant Host, they should be able to tell us more of the present situation. Usually the most dangerous foe in a worm's domain is the worm themselves. If I were Vitra, I'd be defensive and horrified. say the same thing.
I stand ever ready.
My friends, heed me. These are children of Statman. Fortunately, I could do them no
harm. Allow me.
If this is the only way. I shall silence the beasts of the air. Pray continue onward.
Damn it, where was Kraha?
Hold still.
You underestimate me.
I think it's boss time now. It's too late. Too late for us all. Yeah, that's definitely going off berserk on her ass. I thought that was going to be a melee thing. Oh god.
draweth near. Be on your guard.
There's gotta be a place we can progress. Chest or anything? Nothing right there. Maybe it's in the next area. We have to get them away from here. What's wrong? Mother. It's hopeless. Hopeless. No. Stop making stuff mother out. Oh no. Oh. Why? Why did you have to kill them all? This is terrible.
Hold still.
Oh god, what is this? That being just once one of us. I know.
Hold still.
Look at the devastation in this place. Go across here.
Hold still.
Gloves are off.
I have you now.
Allow me.
You underestimate me.
Gloves are off.
Allow me.
Those things can fly? Steven?
You underestimate me.
Allow me. Hold still.
Hold still.
Got this in the bag.
Allow me.
Peter is close, still fighting in the skies above. That was the worst of them, or at least I hope it was. As the horrors of Amaret born anew. I see no trace of the person it once was. This must be the blasphemy they spoke of.
As I feared.
What is it?
The beast was there, and now it is no more. Yes?
Indeed. We saw it plain. But you didn't, did you?
I saw nothing. Not the blasphemy that perished here, nor the other men turned beasts. And because of this, I now see all too well.
There is no ether. Where the creatures should be, I saw naught but emptiness.
Emptiness? But that would mean...
Recall the words of the Watcher. 'Twas a stagnancy of ether, a cessation of flow, leading to decay and absence, that led the ancients to conclude their star was dying. This is the same phenomenon. The instant these people are seized by the transformation, their ether begins to rot and crumble away like dried mud. Until, from their corporeal forms to their very souls, naught remains.
No.
But the beast spoke with its dying breath. Surely, at least a sliver of the man it was endured.
Mayhaps so. But even if the process was incomplete, 'twas little more than a faint residue.
Gods be good. You're saying they cannot be saved?
Not by any means known to me. Or by any means at all, like as not. For there is naught left to save.
They return not even to the ethereal sea.
The beasts rage on, their hunger insatiable. Even deprived of their master, they perpetuate his legacy of hate. Once proud sons and daughters of Thavnir, all of them, and now I spill their blood.
Vitra, my friends, I am heartened to see you safe.
You put your secret at risk.
Those closest to me already know the truth. A truth I must now share with one and all. Vitra, calamity has come to Radzatan. Our fair nation is rent by screams of pain and despair. More than ever, we require a strong leader to shepherd us through the storm. Reveal your true self to our people, Vitra, and guide us to salvation.
What madness is this, I-One? Thou dost forget thyself. Were we to reveal our duplicity, it would do naught but foster confusion and chaos. Nay, I shall remain the Satrap's loyal ally, and do battle with the beasts. Easing hearts and leading the people to safety is thy task, and thine alone. I ask that you remain at Ahewan's side, and render unto him what aid you may. I know not what lies ahead, but without you, Radzatan will not survive.
Take me with you. I am as at home fighting in the air as I am on land. Take me with you.
Were my words unclear? I require no assistance. Thy place is at Arhewan's side.
Estinian, here. The last thing you ever wanted. A link pearl. We'd gain much from knowing your elevated perspective. And it'll keep you from getting lonely, which I know you love.
You heard the man. Seems I'm coming with you after all.
Then I pray thy grip is iron. Be it on thy head if thou dost chance to fall.
Fair enough. Now, shall we?
I fear it is as Vitra says. We will not survive this on our own. While I am loath to impose upon you again.
I would insist if you did not. 'Tis the very reason we have come.
Then once more I find myself without words to thank you properly. Let us return to the capital and plan our next course of action.
Let's see, I got a new ability. Macro Veil. Reduces damage taken by a party member or self by 15%. Handy. It's handy enough to replace any of the other things I've got. How long does it last? 60 seconds. Recast 60 seconds. Duration 8 seconds. How long does that take? Duration 50. Okay. I will attach it to that in a macro, I think. Because that makes sense to me. Even if that's not available, I still get the benefit of the divine venison. Somewhere. Yeah, will do. 6 shields, that'll do. And keyboard, that's what I need. I will go and grab me keyboard. Right. There we go. Okay. So if I want one, I otherwise I'll do it twice. That works. What have we got here? Let's put that there for now. I might change that later. But I'm not sure where I'd put it in the meantime, so I will leave it there for now. Right. I'm going to stop my broadcast briefly.